everything that we know about this world is in terms of vagueness. There are no definite categories. Our brain likes to put things into categories, but
That's the limits of our understanding or language.
exactly the
That's
Sorites
why,
paradox
yes.
explains it so well.
So Sorites Paradox talks about the fact that there is no absolute as such.
Yeah,
That
you cannot.
when does something cease to be the way it is
Yeah,
and starts being another thing?
yeah.
For example, a
A
person
heap
with a
of
full set
sand.
of hair.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, heap of sand is always used. If there's a heap of sand,
Okay, so
one
let's talk about the person with the.
with hair, what is the definition of baldness?
Like,
How
there's
many
no.
hair are
Like, you
there supposed
can't
to be
really
atop your
put a
head?
number on the
That
hair.
is the entire
Yeah.
point.
Or snowflakes, for example.
Yeah. When does it seem that there's a heap of snow, like
Yeah.
a heap of sand?
Yeah. Another example would be that when does someone just suddenly grow up?
Yeah.
Like,
It's not only limited to that. We're sitting in a cafe. When does your flat white cease to be a flat white and become a cappuccino or a latte?
yeah,
It's
like there's
all.
no precise amount of milk
So
that
they
you can
generally
pinpoint.
they say that, but there is no universal agreed upon definition, is
Yeah.
there?
So when do you become old, for example?
Yeah.
At what point do you think, okay, now I'm old?
When do you grow up?
So all your definitions are faulty.
Yeah.
Right? That's what this paradox is saying.
So the paradox says that there's no universality to it. So some people actually talk about classical logic or the bivalence of things. Either that one thing is one way or the other.
Which
There
is
is no
never the
third
case.
option,
Yeah.
right? But many people believe it to be so. And then those are the people that believe in the idea of epistemicism,
Yeah.
which basically talks about that the inherent vagueness is not inherent in nature as such. It is because of the lack of knowledge that we possess. It is not a limitation on
The language,
language.
yeah.
So it's not the language that's a problem. It's our lack of understanding of things,
But
which I don't agree with,
yeah,
right?
because life itself is vague.
Yeah, I am all for the idea of being objective. But sadly, there is no escaping
Yes, because
subjectivism.
reality does not function like that. Like,
Yeah.
at what point do you say, okay, the sun has risen? It's an entire process.
And many of the times, our language is influenced by our cultural understanding of things and the way we perceive them. There's no universal language as such. So, generally, everyone ascribes a particular definition to things. Mostly in law, you do,
And
right?
that's a faulty approach. That's a
No,
fallacy.
there is no other option. But the thing is, then,
Then that's the limitation of a human brain. That unless we have these boundaries and categories, we may not be able to function
no,
because our understanding can't encompass the entire reality.
yeah, and most of the times we try and define it. But still,